Unfamous humans. Do you know some? I know so many that I just have to keep on talking to you about them. And today I have a very special guest in this series that I know you're excited and you're going to be inspired with. His name, Chilo, better known as Chilo Sicairos. We have known each other for approximately 20 years, and there's so much that I'm wanting for him to share with you. But I wanted to introduce him a little bit to you. He's an entrepreneur, which we're doing a series on entrepreneurs. He's flipped homes. He's a landscape designer. He has been a parent in group homes. He's a soccer coach. Of course, he's a husband to his amazing, beautiful, and super dynamic wife, Isaura, and she's a very good friend of mine. He's father to two beautiful young women, Priscilla and Sierra, two professional women. He's also a speaker, a youth leader, and did I already say soccer coach and
yes.
everything? I could go on, right? I could go on, but I want you to know that this is one of the individuals that happens to be someone that I have been inspired by, and I know that by listening to his story, you will be inspired also. So, Chilo, wow, thank you for accepting the invitation. We really appreciate it. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So, you are listening into MrsDiazTalks.com, and in this particular series that we're doing, we're talking to individuals who have, decided to follow their dreams, reach those goals that they have. When does it start for you, Chilo? Because I know that you're an entrepreneur now, but everybody has a beginning. When did you begin?
I think that a lot of times it's already who we are. As my family has always been into business. I never thought I would be able to.
Like what kind of business? What were they?
They were into all sales, all kinds of sales. Their own agriculture, like in Mexico.
Yes.
My dad would always talk to us about the different ventures of business that you can get into. And I never thought that was for me. I like the idea, but
what did you think? I'm gonna go to school.
Yes,
get a job.
Yes, I'm gonna go be a business accountant. I went for computerized accounting is something that I interested me because I knew computers were going to be the thing back when
You had that vision?
Yeah, it's going to go in that direction. I better be part of that.
Because you remember when computers barely came into the classroom, right?
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first time that I saw
was so intimidated by them.
Yeah.
But I'm still intimidated now, but that ain't going to stop us. But the thing is that time I said, well, I go to school, I can learn, I want to, get better with this. And the funny thing is I go to school up in Downey, California.
Okay.
Is,
where are you from, Chilo? I didn't tell you.
Oh, I'm from born in Mexicali.
Okay.
And raised here in El Centro.
All right.
Most of my life.
Wow. Okay.
Going different places. When I went to school in LA, I went to a business college thinking, okay, I'm gonna get my computerized accounting degree and start there and start this. I didn't know where I was gonna go in business, but I knew that I liked business. I've always been a numbers person, and math was easy for me, and I do like being, where there's, business going on, the next new thing, trying to find a way to support my family. Also, really is like,
of course,
you want to be a provider for your family. So
of course,
it started there. I started realizing. Because being young, you're sometimes not sure that it's going to happen. But as I was in college, and our professor would, inspire us to go get it, and he had a lot of good prep talks. And one of the times I remember that he asked all the class as part of the assignment to come before the class and have something prepared and kind of like share with the class what your vision was and why you were there. And I remember that I was intimidated. First of all, I didn't know what to say, but I knew what I wanted. Just I never really voiced it the way I wanted to really say it, and I didn't know what people were gonna think if I came out and said it the way I wanted to be. And one of the things I always had in mind after I had been in some dead-end jobs, I realized that I no longer wanted just to be an employee. I either wanted to be the leader of that site, of the business, whatever, where I was at, to have some decision and have a voice to make good decisions for the business, to make the business prosper, or be the owner of a business.
When did you know that? Like, when did that thought come into your mind?
It's when I was in that school.
Because
I always liked business, and I even had a business class that I took in high school, which I realized that I really did like business. But, you know, as the teachers would always tell you, you know, you can take business in so many, you can go in so many directions.
Oh, yes, I mean, definitely.
Business is everywhere. Everywhere we look.
Yes.
It's part of life. It's part of life.
Yes.
Even when you know, as simple as picking up your trash. I remember our professor was talking about even the guy that picks up your trash is making money picking up your trash.
Exactly.
So just to show us that you can make money anywhere.
So you had to get up and you had to voice your vision.
Yes, and I did that day, and it kind of was kind of embarrassing. I didn't know how my class was going to react. But when I said that, you know, I wanted to be, and I said it, you know, and I really believe that I want to be ready to lead a company or run my own business. It was kind of like, but it's kind of like, it challenged me.
Okay.
Because now I said it, now I got to do it.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because you say it, now you got to do it. You just can't be talking the talk. Talk is cheap, right?
Yes.
So then that's when you start realizing, hey, so what am I going to do? I got to get good grades. I got to make sure that I stay with this. I need to learn everything, and I was getting straight A's for the first time in a long time because
you liked it, right?
Yes, I finally found something that I was really enjoying.
Excellent.
It was about business, so yeah, I was doing well.
What happens then?
Ironic part.
What?
The school went bankrupt.
Oh my God.
Oh, business school.
Business school, yes, out of all types of school.
That's where I started seeing that along the way, God was going to guide me through, and that's one of the things I always tell people. That God is going to see you through. He's going to help you succeed in whatever you do.
But at that point, it doesn't seem that way. It's like, what a frustration, right?
I was frustrated at the moment.
You're like, my goals are like, they just hit, you know, a roadblock.
Yes.
Okay, so you decided you want to be an entrepreneur, but it doesn't happen right away. So what happens next?
When they closed the school, I decided to come back home to El Centro.
Okay.
And I said, okay, regroup. What are we going to do? Let's go. Go to IBC.
Okay.
From there, I'm gonna, you know, keep working on my accounting degree.
Right.
Or business administration. It was one of those two that I started realizing that, like, I started thinking, you know, there's a lot of things out there that I'm interested in. But I come back to Imperial Valley. School doesn't start. The semester when it was going to start like about 6 months from when I came back. And I said, okay, there's a chance to get a break. So a friend of ours offered me a job at the school district. So I went to the school district. I started working there. Okay. And I took the position of a gardener. All right. And I did that for a while. And people started asking me to do their yard after work. And I had plenty of times. I'd go in from 6 to 2. So and then you're young, you have a lot of energy, and I've always been hyper. Right. So I use my energy. I said, I got to use my energy wisely. So I'm going to go do some yards after work. So I started picking up a few accounts. Before you know it, I had like 70 accounts.
What?
With my working at the school district and then landscaping on the side. And it was like I started seeing, you know what, there's an opportunity here. I was thinking, you know, there's money here to be made. Right. You know, and I get to be my own boss. And I said I wanted to be. And here, I haven't gone to school yet. Wow. I'm not there yet, but I started seeing that things started kind of rolling in that direction. Okay. And then you could say I just kind of rode the wave. I kept saying to myself, well, this is good for right now. I'll do this for right now. Right. I'll go back to school. My friend, even one of my partners, who was became a partner with
in the landscaping.
Sean Roberts. Yeah, my friend Sean Roberts. We got together and we joined forces on our little business that we were starting. And we were doing well. I told him, you know, I'm gonna go back to school. And he goes, yeah, what are you gonna study? I'm gonna study business. He looked at me and goes, are you serious? You're already doing way more than what they're gonna teach you at IBC. We're running a business already. Why don't you go study something else? Oh, wow. And I'm like, oh wow. And that's when I realized, you know what? I'm in the right direction. I may not have school, but then that's when I started realizing again, God is opening opportunities. Wow. And that's when I just kept writing that. So when do you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do full time? When does that happen? Right about during that time, I was starting to really like that I could take it as far as I wanted. It's not having a dead end job. I had those before. I had I worked in the fields. I worked in the lettuce.
Were you married by this time, or?
By this time, I barely got together with my wife. But before that, I was single when I went to school. And then when I come back, it's about when I met my beautiful wife. And then from there, now I had to provide. So now it's not like the choices in my mind were like, okay, I don't have that many choices, but I gotta ride. This is making me good money.
Right.
I really enjoy doing it because I'm an outdoors person. I'm a physical person. I'm hyper. So I get to burn off my energy, and I don't have to go to the gym.
Right.
And I'm making money, and sky's the limit.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay. And then the great opportunity comes is one of my friends told me about a business that they were selling, a pool business. And I went there to talk to the gentleman.
Right.
And he tells me, you know, I want $24,000 for it. I said, would you take 17?
Wow.
Write it down. And I go there, and he says, I'll take the 17, but it's got to be cash. I was trying, because the next thing I was trying to work is maybe a payment plan with him. He said, no. I went to the banks, I went everywhere, nobody gave me the loan.
Wow. Which is typical, right?
Yeah. It's young guy, barely starting. Nobody would bet on me, right? So nobody gave me a chance, and it's okay. Thank God for that, because they turned me down, so I forgot about it. So I went back to my landscaping business, back to the school district, and some time passes, and like a year later, that guy sold me the business for $3,000.
Oh my!
And that's exactly what I had in my account. I didn't have any more or any less. I had exactly $3,000.
Wow!
And that's when I started realizing, okay, God is gonna help me get to reach my dreams.
Oh wow!
And so
talk about thinking that you might have been, in failure mode, but no, exactly, it wasn't a failure. It was just you had to ride that wave out, right?
Yeah, you just gotta keep going forward, because sometimes life is never perfect, and you hear the great ones. I mean, I can't think of an example. You know the great ones. Okay, Bill Gates is a billionaire without education, and I'm not promoting that right now. But I'm just saying is that when you want to go get it, you can.
Oh yes.
It's not gonna be. I need it. It's not like you have to have a checklist and say, okay, I need an education, or else I'll fail in life, or I need this to be.
You prepare for the opportunities.
Exactly. You always are trying to be ready for the next thing.
So, tell us, where are you right now? Because I know you have a lot of clients now. Just give us an idea. Well,
when I started,
because now you have now it's really converted into more the pool service, because that's where the real profit is in it for you. I mean, I know that's a more lucrative business than the landscaping, and I know you've set that aside a little bit, but. You made a name for yourself, because it's Chilo's. Is it Chilo's?
Landscaping and pool service, and that's why landscaping, because I started with that first,
right?
And then we added the pool service, but now it's kind of like backwards. I have more pool service than I do yard service, and so I do both because I enjoy both of them. But yeah, there's way better opportunity in the pool service. Okay. So that's why I do that, and it keeps us doing good.
Tell the audience two things that you consider critical when somebody decides, I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to take a step into being my own boss. What do people have to think about? Two things that they have to focus on. Yeah.
First, I think you got to start voicing it, and put it into existence.
Yes. Speak it into existence. Okay.
That's what the experts would say. I just say start talking about it, so you can do it.
Yes.
Start challenging yourself, or somebody's gonna hold you accountable.
Yes.
He's gonna say, okay, like sometimes it could be your loved one, like your wife or girlfriend. I don't know. Your close ones, they're honest with you. Hey, didn't you say you're gonna do that?
Exactly.
You said you're gonna do that. I don't say nothing, and so when you start speaking into action, I think that's a great start there.
Awesome.
Also, you also have to have that work ethic. You got to be ready to put in the hours, and you cannot be like an employee.
Exactly.
Because employees stay as employees, and to take the next step, you got to start thinking more.
So it's not your 9 to 5.
Oh no! My hours are never 9 to 5. I wish they were 9 to 5, but it's okay.
Because a lot of people say, I want to be an entrepreneur, but you know, when they start putting in the hours, it's like, this is not what I signed up for, right?
Correct.
But you enjoy what you do, right?
Yes, exactly. So if you find what you like,
yeah,
go get it, go do it. Because it's not a job anymore. It's something you have a passion for.
Exactly.
Like I can work 12-hour days, and when I'm doing my job, it's like I love what I do, and you know, I'll tell you where my rewards are. It's people saying, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
My pool was a mess, and it's so beautiful. Man.
Yeah.
You know, it's those little things you find that now it's no longer about the money. It's about that you're useful in this community. Right. That you're gaining
I mean, like respect
Their
also,
respect,
right?
but
Because you do your job well. And I think that anybody, you know, feels good when we're valued, when we're recognized for whatever it is that we do.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. And so you get motivated, and you're going forward. So it's worth ethic, and but there's others. But for right now, let's keep it simple and to the point. Let's speak it into action, and remember, you have to have worth ethic right behind that.
Wow.
Because if you don't do what you're saying you're gonna do, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Okay, so before we end, and you know, and again, thank you so much. You know, I always invite people to elevate their frequency, right? And I tell them, you know what? Breathe. You know, that to me, that's like it really helps me elevate. It helps me calm down. And I mean, elevate your frequency is not that. You know, I mean, hyper, yes, because we're two hyper people, but just it allows you to have that energy to do what you're going to do. And so I invite people, you know, to breathe. I invite them to, you know, like take a walk.
That's good.
You know, to just different things that they can elevate.
I do some of those, but a lot of times we're like, you know, these 3 months when it's really hot, I go back to, I have to find motivation in that I want to go make a difference.
Okay.
I want to not think of myself as a victim and say, oh, poor me, look how hot it is.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm going to have to stop you and let people know. We live in the Imperial Valley.
Oh, yes.
What's the weather?
It could be 120 degrees.
So that's what he's talking about.
The humidity can be really
So
bad.
you can't say, you know what, oh, well, it's, you know, 120 degrees today. I can't go out, right? So you elevate your frequency by saying, you know, get your butt out there. Let's get this going.
I got responsibilities to go meet and stop thinking about yourself. Go think about what your business needs. And because at the end of the day, also, I look at it as like my business has been able to provide for 5 employees.
Wow.
So, you know, that's putting food on their table also. So I got to look at it beyond. And so when I start thinking about them and how they need to work and how it's providing for, you know, their family.
Right.
So
your family.
my family also. So if you start thinking as a victim, you're gonna quit. So you got to think outside of yourself, and you got to find a reason why to go out there. I put on my straw hat, drink enough water.
Yeah.
I got to wear my covers a little bit more because I have a tendency, my wife's always on me on that. But, you know, we get out there, and we've been doing this for 25 years.
25 years. Wow. Well, Chilo, as always, thank you. And, you know, I want all of our viewers to know that this is part 1. Okay, this is part 1. Please follow us. You know, next week we will have part 2, where Chilo's going to be sharing even more about his experience. We're going to be talking about addiction and depression. And so, if you have anybody that you know that will benefit from seeing this, don't miss out. I mean, who doesn't know somebody who's dealing with addiction? Who doesn't know somebody who's dealing with depression? Chilo's going to be sharing his experience with us, and we are going to be blessed and inspired. Chilo, thank you so much. Always, man. You're awesome. Thank you for really being an inspiration, for inspiring all the young people that you work with, and you know, and inspiring those of us who aren't as young as those kids that you inspire all the time. But it's a pleasure, and thank you so much. I know that it takes a lot, and thank you for your time. Thank you for checking in with us this week. Remember to subscribe to our channel, to like this video, to share with anybody that you would like them to also be inspired by this particular interview with Chilo Sicairos. And don't forget to elevate your frequency and live. Blessings. See you next week.